Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whichever applies to you wherever you are. Welcome back. I am Finalflame. I will be doing the, I believe, second run of Chrono Trigger in this marathon. The previous one being a couple days ago, it was a 100% glitchless, no RNG route, if I recall correctly. You're going to have the exact opposite here. We are doing any percent no lava shell skip, abbreviated to no LSS. This will be a glitched run. It will have plenty of RNG manipulation, hopefully in a good way. And, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I am joined by a co-commentator here. Say hello.
Hello, my name is Kip Algo. I will be helping commentate this run. I am an avid Chrono Trigger fan, so this is exciting.
Yeah, this is a really good game. A lot of people enjoy it. As you can probably hear right now, it has an amazing soundtrack. Let's go ahead and get this started. We have quite a few hours to go. So, 3, 2, 1, go. First thing we're going to do, set this to wait and abbreviate Chrono's name. So we set the battle system to wait because when we're in a menu, we would like everything to kind of freeze. It gives us a chance to select the right abilities, as well as to stay on RNG. In terms of renaming Chrono, you will see this for every character. We will rename them to a single character. That's because this game, with text, loads everything one character at a time. You see characters' names quite frequently, so the time that you save by doing that will add up greatly over the course of a run. Okay, mashing through text at the start. We're being woken up by our mother. We will be heading to the fair.
Yay, the fair.
It's year 1000 AD. We're celebrating. I do have an order of business here first, once I'm allowed to get out of bed. We have some more characters we'll be naming. The first thing I need to do, however, is a bit of menuing. Just set some preferences and some requirements. Need to set the battle speed to 1. Memory cursor. Whoops. There we go. And change our menu button. While that is partially personal preference, it is also required at one point in the run. Alright, so that's two characters' names. We have O, we have A. Next up, anyone that's played this before knows we'll have E. Gets a little confusing during the run. Each character has to have a unique name. They cannot share a name. Apparently it doesn't exist in the world. Here in the fair, we're first going to run into this girl who will be called E. She has lost her pendant. We are going to be a kind gentleman and get it back for her immediately, because that's what people should do. And now she's going to want to follow us around. And because we're nice, sure. And now we can name her. Yeah, the first part of this game, the first like 7 or so minutes, is just story dump. Going to open up that item screen. You never actually saw it. So what I did is I pressed B and start to just immediately close the menu. You didn't even see it, and suddenly we're ready to go off to see our friend Luca, or A. But first we need to pick up some candy. We all have a sweet tooth. We don't want to do anything here. We just want to sit and wait. And that will be relevant in about 20-25 minutes. For the prison trial segment. Spoilers, if you haven't seen this game before. Okay, so we have our telepods here. Something Luca and her father have been putting together. And she's going to want us to test it out. So we're going to test it out right here. I hope you didn't blink and miss our test of it. Turns out you don't actually have to stand in it or test it at all. So at this point, it's a text mash. We're going to watch her go into the telepod, and things don't go as planned.
More power!
So at this point, we just kind of have to wait. This looks normal. This looks fine. Everything's fine. Oh, her pendant got left behind. That's a shame. That was important to her. I even went out of my way to pick it up immediately before checking on it.
And then she immediately drops it. How rude.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't know where she went as of yet. But the show is over. Time to go home.
Great theory. The candy definitely screwed up the machine. It's definitely the candy.
I like that. And apparently she looks familiar to Luca. She knows she's seen her somewhere before. Once again, we're going straight for the pendant. That's certainly not relevant in anything. And we're going to have the same thing happen to us. And so I think it's time to start talking about RNG in this game. As our RNG route is pretty much about to begin immediately. Unlike a lot of RPGs, there's no step counter in this game. RNG increments when you get in the battle, as well as based on what you do in a battle, as well as what the enemies do in a battle. This route relies heavily on RNG manipulation. Fortunately, for pretty much the entire first half of the game, if we get off RNG, it's not a big deal. We can improvise or we can reset RNG by soft resetting the game, because RNG also increments on the file select screen, which is why you may have noticed we had a clear cartridge here. We didn't have any save files. So we're going to have our first encounter, and here's some more awesome music. So I'm going to attack these enemies in a very specific way, but I need to do so very quickly. There's one. Two. Oh my gosh, will I survive the first fight on RNG? Nice. So one thing, setting the battle cursor to memory, which is one of the things I did in the first menu of the game, it allows me to just hit X to automatically attack an enemy. Pixel off. Nice. That was bird skip. You're hopefully going to see that exact thing 4 times in this run. We're going to be here quite a lot. Encounters in this game. You're going to see a lot of mobs on the world map, or not the world map, these submaps. And they have specific areas where you will get into an encounter with them. There are also some triggers that are hidden. So you might see some weird looking movement. And it is all, or most of it, is just in the name of avoiding encounters when we don't need them or want them. We're going to avoid a lot of encounters, but there are some, such as leaving this castle, that would be optional, that we want, specifically for tech points. Can you explain tech points? Do you know how those work? Okay. Tech points. Those are how you learn your abilities. You gain them in battle. You'll see at the end there's a couple of screens to go through with everything you've won, including tech points. When you reach a certain amount, you learn an ability. You also have, I guess, what's his proper name? Double attacks and triple attacks that will use multiple characters, as long as they have both learned specific abilities. You'll see these a lot through the game. So apparently the Queen wanted to see us. We don't know this person at all.
Never seen this person before in my life.
It's me! So it turns out we are now in 600 AD. This is a time travel game. And Marl/Marley, whichever you prefer to call her, because I've heard it both ways, has been mistaken for the Queen. Because, spoilers, she's a descendant. Now, that's not a heavy spoiler. We'll be learning that in about 60 seconds. And she's suddenly gone. As we're about to learn, the Queen has been kidnapped. And when she appeared here in this age, they mistook her for the Queen and called off the search. And now the Queen's dead, therefore... yeah. You can imagine how that's kind of messed up the family lineage. And it turns out Luca has come to join us. How? We don't know. And that's when we learn about what just happened. We're going through this text, and then we're going to do the 2 optional encounters I mentioned earlier, and that's to gain a couple abilities that will be used immediately. So here's your lesson on apparently how babies are made. You know, the person coughs or just waves their hand, and here's someone, and a couple seconds later...
It's all about the chime. The noise is what makes the baby.
Yeah. And a couple seconds later, they're a fully grown adult. Every game is a time travel game. If you imagine that time is only moving forward at a normal pace. That's accurate.
Yes.
It's all in how you look at it.
I also am a fan of the neutral name Marble.
So now we're going to go save Queen Lane. Once Luca lets us go. There we go. One thing I'm doing in these types of screens, not in the overworld, I'm holding B and it allows me to run. Noticeable difference between that and walking. A little bit of odd movement there. That was intentional. Let me get this right. Okay, and we might still be on RNG. So what I did there is I moved into a encounter trigger deliberately from the bottom. That was just to get Luca closer to the bottom, so she's where I want her to be. And you'll see that throughout the run, just little movement optimizations like that. It saves a little bit of time each time. So we have another encounter over here we're going to do, both for the encounter and a tab that's over here. Okay, so I made sure to target the left with both of them. That's to manipulate the RNG. I'm actually going to get out of this forest on RNG, potentially. I don't know if that was right or wrong. We'll find out. You'd think early on, oh, the RNG will be easy to deal with. I struggle more with this RNG than any other spot in the game. So that's a power tab we just found laying on the floor. We will be using that in a little bit here.
What the tabs do is they are a permanent stat increase for those that don't know. With manipulating the RNG, there are certain stat points that you kind of need to be at in order to make sure that you do the exact correct number of damage at certain points.
Yes, and pretty much after this first segment, that will actually come in handy at the entrance to the prison. Alright, so here we have the Naga-ets. If I manipulated RNG correctly, these should go down pretty quickly. I need a fire whirl on... Ah, they're a little too spread out. Okay.
RNG, why you forsake us?
Yeah, it's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, so we were off RNG. What a surprise. Will Flame Toss hit them both? No. So, forget my instructions, we're going another fire whirl. Because otherwise, these have the ability to make us slow, and this fight will take a long time. But still not a terribly slow fight. And this dungeon, now we're not on RNG where we'd like to be, but that's not a big deal. We only have one more fight before we would lose it anyway. But before that fight, we have our new friend, Frog. Contestant for best theme in the game.
Yes, best music ever.
There's a lot of good songs in this game. It's an amazing soundtrack. Highly recommend listening to it. Unfortunately, we're not going to hear one of the best songs. You know about the endings for this game, right? And how they work?
Multiple endings.
Yes. Would you care to explain?
Well, the one could have been triggered if we used the right pad at the beginning, but we definitely did not want to do that. Then there is this big floating fortress called the Black Omen. That has some incredible music. And with this incredible music comes an incredible ending. But I believe there are 10 plus endings you can trigger in this game. I believe the number's 13.
That sounds accurate. I believe one of them has many variations, but the number I've seen thrown around is 13 kind of specific endings. We will not be getting the best ending in this because we don't need it. So let's talk about the goal of this category is to make our way to Lavos and defeat him. What room am I in? This one. Now, we can get to him pretty early on, but if I were to visit him within the first hour, we would be absolutely just wiping the floor. We would not survive at all. So there are certain items we are going to get that will make it much easier to defeat him, but we're going to be severely underleveled at the end of this game. Alright, so this is the other fight that we have. Fortunately, I can still take out the top 3 in one fire whirl. Unfortunately, we're just going to get attacked. I'm not worried about our health at this point. We will be fine. Oh, okay. That was not the enemy I wanted to hit. That's fine. I wanted to hit the center one. Didn't move the cursor over enough. Yeah, I'll do another fire whirl. Yeah. There's a lot of points in this run, especially early on, where we can kind of improvise what we're doing if we need to. Alright, now I can just hold X, defeat that enemy. And then you will see a couple glitches pretty much combined into one. First, play this piano. It opens up a secret door, as it did at the very first room in this cathedral. Then a little movement optimization here, where we're going to go down these stairs. I said go down the stairs. At an angle so we don't stop at the top and just fall down like it's a slide. We're going to grab that heal, which is going to be used in about 3 hours from now. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is make a backup save. And I'm going to begin what's known as a fade out glitch. So when you transition rooms, the game doesn't do an instant transition, it kind of fades it out. Let me do a quick menu before I keep talking about that. Where am I in my notes? Oh, over here. Come on. Oh, come on, game. I am not intended to do what I am doing here. So I will explain that here in a little bit. My menus are going to be much slower than you would see from a lot of people. Where is my bandana? Oh. Yeah, I'm just gonna reset that. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's okay. Let me just do this here. Found my bandana. Steel saber. Power glove. Now I can unequip. There's my bandana. Now I'm going to want those power tabs. On Chrono. Okay, let's try... We're off to a great start, aren't we? I have to wait for those enemies to move out of my way. That's right, I'm just getting practice at this menu, y'all. Oh. Come on. I'm hitting 2 buttons there at the same time. More on that in a bit. Alright, so fade out glitch. While it's fading out, I'm interrupting it with the menu. And what this is going to allow us to do is get to the save point. And once we're on the save point, let me make sure I'm actually on it here. Okay. That is what we wanted to do. Now we have a glitch called Save Anywhere. We are not meant to save anywhere in the game. You're meant to save on save points or in the overworld. But because the game thinks we're still on a save point, we actually were able to save there at the encounter trigger, and now we have control of the party. So this is going to allow us to skip this first boss, being Yakra. So those were the first 2 glitches you kind of saw. I'm kind of moving the camera up and down just to get rid of the text quicker. So now, while you stare at some interesting shenanigans, we could talk about what I did with Luca. It's called the Unequipped Glitch. By hitting R or L and up or down at the same time, in specific patterns only, you're able to trick the game into allowing you to unequip items you're not meant to. You're not meant to not have a vest or a helm on, but you can kind of trick the game there, and it allows you to take the armor off and not wear anything. The reason we would do that is to increase, I believe it's our magic defense goes up significantly, and that's going to be very important throughout this run. Alright, let's return to the castle, finally. Alright, we're through the first segment. Well, that was an adventure. Well, let's get that stuff out of the way at the start, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what is your favorite song in this game?
Magus's music, I would say, is definitely up there on my favorites list.
I don't know that I could pick a favorite. There's so many good options. Frog's theme, Robo's theme. It's a Faraway Times, which we unfortunately will not hear. That's kind of the the main ending music. Corridors of Time. The final boss theme.
Oh my god, she's back.
Yay! A little bit more movement optimization there, where I went up, left, and down. That puts Marl right where we are, meaning we won't have to wait for her to rejoin the party after this text, because she's right there. Alright, so we now are not on RNG. However, we will be doing another save and load coming up, because we still have Save Anywhere glitch. We won't lose that until we're in another room with a save point. So we are going to be utilizing that when we go back to the portal in Truce Canyon. Right. First, check my notes to make sure I haven't missed anything. That's something I'm known for doing. We have a very important skip here. Frog skip. Bye, Frog. I'm sure he's fine.
He'll be okay.
And we don't want any of the encounters in here. So again, moving deliberately in a specific way to avoid all those encounter triggers. Both visible ones and non-visible ones. Alright, so coming up to our first RNG minute save. Going to save right here. I'm going to wait a specific time on this screen. I'll do a reverse bird skip, hopefully. Hey! Alright, so hopefully we are on the correct RNG value. We will know that in our first encounter coming up after the trial. So, Kip mentioned the power tabs, or tabs in general, and how they increase your stats. Utilizing those, if I'm on the right RNG, Chrono will be using a Cyclone to hit for 60? Yeah, 60 on a guard. So much text. The guard has 60 health, so ideally we will one-shot the guard. Corridors of Time is absurdly good. Yeah, I think that's the song that really got me into wanting to play this game for the first time a couple years ago. It is so good. I will be pointing out amazing songs during this run. Unfortunately, we don't get to hear all of them. One that was brought up, The Black Omen, we will not be visiting that. We're only going to be progressing the story basically up until our first trip to Antiquity, 12,000 BC. At that point, we're able to do what we need to do to be strong enough or have the proper equipment to defeat Lavos. Can't really say we'll be strong enough because gotta be a lopsided fight. It's very interesting how we defeat the final boss. One thing to bring up there, diagonal movement does not slow you down in this game. You'll still move at the same speed, both vertically and horizontally.
Which for games of that era was actually not common at all.
Yeah. Like other games I've speedrun, you don't want to go diagonal. So making our way through this forest, and now we'll be at the castle. I'm sure Marl's parents will be delighted that we brought her back.
Yes, they're going to be thrilled. Happy, even.
Yeah.
All the trials and tribulations we've undergone.
Wait, why doesn't the Chancellor seem too happy? So, we're going to be thrown into prison. But first, we have the trial. If you don't know how it works, there are 7 judges. Each one will be either guilty or not, give you a verdict of guilty or not guilty, depending on actions you have taken until this point. So with what we have done during the fair, we will have 3 judges say guilty, 3 say not guilty. That leaves the 7th judge, which is the second judge. It is meant to be linked to, I don't remember what, but something that you do at the start. But it's not. It actually is random whether or not he will find you guilty or not guilty. What we want is to be found guilty. Simply because it saves about 3 to 4 seconds in text boxes. Either way, we're still going to prison. And supposedly getting executed. So all we have to do here is mash through text. We do have 2 options where I need to hit the second option both times. And as just for less text, less cinematics, to get the not guilty or guilty verdict that we'd like. So it turns out E started this whole mess. At least I thought so. Oh, apparently we ran into her. That's definitely the clip from the start of the game.
100%.
So apparently I have lied. That's a guilty vote. Now they're talking about her character. I kind of like this one. Was there any motive? Well, her fortune tempted me.
It's all about the pendant.
Yes, her fortune very much tempted me. And that's because that ends that question immediately. And now, here's the jury. So again, our eyes are on juror number 2. Come on. Never lucky.
Ah.
Alright. So again, that just means some extra text to mash through. And the crowd is not too happy here. Yeah! Guilty! Woo! I would have loved this verdict when I was first playing this casually. I was guilty. So it will be a 4-3 vote in the Guardia Supreme Court. So we are found not guilty. However, the Chancellor really doesn't like us. So of note, when we first rescued Lean back in 600 AD, the Chancellor there mentioned creating a criminal justice system. And then we come back and now we're tried by that exact same criminal justice system. We've affected the future. You'll see that a few times through this run. Marl's not too happy, but the king says, oh well, this isn't your place. So off to prison we go. Does this mean I've technically been arrested before?
Apparently.
Yeah, so the prison segment, relatively short segment. Hopefully we do it on RNG. If we can stay on RNG for the whole thing, the final boss fight, the dragon tank, has a really cool strat. Just by the way, our execution's in about 3 days, according to the Chancellor here. But the guard's kind of confused, because he doesn't recall hearing about an execution. These are those extra text boxes that we wouldn't have had if we were guilty. Alright, so we're going to be thrown into a jail cell. I'm going to do 2 things immediately. I'm going to heal up with that mug in the corner, and then I'm just going to take a safety save. Although, if we're not on RNG, I'm not going to reset and try and get back on RNG. We're just going to roll with it. I got bang on this door a few times. The guards here don't really like that. So this one's going to come in and give us a taste of his sword.
He's going to show us, that's for sure. We're going to be shown the business.
Why did I invite you? Alright, so the guards did make one big mistake here. We still have a weapon.
Prisoners with weapons. Always a good idea.
Alright, so right here we're hoping to see 60 on this Cyclone. Good, we are on RNG. So I just hopefully can maintain that through the whole prison. Which, ideally, we don't have any encounters until the boss. So we have these guys guarding the stairs. Turns out you can just fit between them. And we're going to do another fade-out glitch here, and that is to skip an encounter halfway across the bridge. You'll actually see when I get to the encounter trigger, it'll force me back into the room I just came from. These are kind of risky. You can push yourself pretty far. The problem is if you push it too far and open the menu too late, you have to do the whole thing again. Alright, so now we're at the guard segment here, where we're hoping not to get caught. Please face right. Alright, there's guard 1 down. Just stay out of his line of sight. There's 1 mid-tonic. We have another one we will get here, hopefully. Nice. Perfect. And that guard cooperated. Now, the mid-tonics aren't necessarily required, but they are for safety. They're useful to have. You can see I walked there very briefly. That one was accidental. There are a few points in this run where I will deliberately be walking. And that is to actually skip encounter triggers. One more fade out right here to skip this guard fight. Now the guards are gone. Alright, so we're on RNG for the Dragon Tank. Awesome. So one thing I'll bring up now as I do the fight, you're going to notice this on a lot of bosses, not all of them, but many of them, we're going to be inputting most of our attacks during any sort of animation. The reason being, the ATB does not fill up during that time when there's an animation happening, like an attack or using an item. So it's not like it's costing us time. There are things happening during that time to begin with, so why not do something? So our health might look scary during this fight, but I promise you it's going to be safe. So first gotta hit the head 5 times. So I actually can take these inputs kind of slow. You don't need to rush yourself. It's not, even if you go super fast on these inputs, it's not going to make a difference. You're not losing time, as long as they're during animations. There's 4. I have 1 more before I switch to doing something else. Next up, I have a Cyclone. I do have notes for everything I'm doing, so I might kind of pause to read them at times. Yep. Alright, almost done. Just a couple more inputs to go. There's the head. Look, our health is kind of scary right now. And the boss should be dead. Scary health, and yet that's not even going to be the scariest looking health in this run. I'm really glad the boss died there, because I would have looked like a fool otherwise. So that was Dragon Tank. That was our second segment of the run. Kind of have it divided into 14 segments. If you're ever wondering details about this game, if you look at the resources under speedrun.com, we do have a wiki that has all the routes, a lot of information. Information like, don't forget to grab that shelter right there. So as bad as that first segment was, that last segment was really good. So now all these guards are only half-heartedly trying to stop us. I forgot I need to move a little more to the right. Alright, so now we're going to leave this place and head to our next time period, which will be the future, into our next segment. Getting closer to the point where we could really fight Lavos if we want to do. But we still won't. There's a couple of items that we need to defeat Lavos itself. But we also need to be strong enough and have the right abilities to defeat all the bosses in the gauntlet before Lavos. Lavos Shell. Which is, in the LSS category, what would be skipped using a complicated glitch. I've never learned it, but I've looked at it. We will not be doing that. It does save something like 15 minutes. There's no escape! We'll show you. We do have an amazing animation coming up as I get stopped by every tree in the neighborhood. So we have this random gate. You know, the characters, they all know where it'll take them. Notice that chest in the corner. Not relevant for us in this run. We couldn't open it now if we wanted to. You're not actually able to open that until you have the charged pendant, which we will be getting, and using on a chest, looking like that. So watch the Chancellor here. The best face in the game.
LSS is Lavos Shell Skip.
Yes. Alright, so here in the future. It's a very strange looking place. There's some advanced technology. Not seeing a lot, though. It doesn't look too good outside.
I see that it wasn't heard. LSS is Lavos Shell Skip. There's a way to manipulate it so you can skip a whole large portion of the fight, and this is a category that does not skip that whole part.
don't want to... I didn't want to get hit by that. Alright, so what I'm doing here, I'm moving deliberately. I am... Come on, rats! It's actually not an issue that I'm losing all that money, but I am utilizing the rats, 2 of them specifically, to skip encounter triggers, such as the one that would be encountered there. Because while that text box is there, it actually can't load the encounter. For this screen, I'm just going to stay low, and then go near this enemy and skip the encounters there. That was Lab 16. We did need the 2 items in the chests that we got. I'm not worried about losing the tonic or the gold. And into Aristome. Again, not really a great looking place, but hey, at least there's people here.
And the music is so fitting because it's incredibly depressing.
Now, when we come back to this room, though, I really do like the music you get there. It's another great tune. The Day the World Revived, I believe is what it's called. Or something similar. Alright, so we're going to head down all the way to the bottom. Stop walking, Chrono. Oh, wrong screen. I gotta stay on these God, English is hard. Rafters. Oh, hey, look, a rat. Interesting. So, you may recall at the very start, I changed my menu button. That is for this segment right here. So, what you're meant to do is hit the Y button on your controller, and instead of opening your menu, it will actually start a boss fight. We don't want that. So by changing which button was our menu button, and then using that to fade out, we could skip the boss. That was Guardian, and we'll never see him up until the Shell Guardian variant during Lavos Shell. So we found this person here. Unfortunately, they have passed. We will be getting a seed from them and a little tip on how to progress. Alright, so we need to catch the rat. You know, that same rat that we just saw? It's not actually a statue, it's just a very surprised rat. Probably because it hasn't seen a human in 301 years. And we've caught it. That tells us how to get into the next segment. Hold L and R and press A. And now, unfortunately, we're kind of trapped behind the rat for a little bit. So we do that there. You cannot do those inputs until you've actually caught the rat. So you are required to do that left side. Now here, we just want to avoid all these encounters. We have no use for them. We are on RNG. We don't want to lose it, ideally. And now we're coming up to the part where we find out what has happened to this world. Now, we're only going to find out a small part of it, because we have one more fade-out glitch here to skip the long cutscene of what has occurred. And we get a nice little visual glitch here when we go back in, and the girls are just stuck in the machine. Can you explain what has just happened? What did we skip?
We skipped a massive scene where we find out what happened.
So what has happened?
The world ended.
Alright, to elaborate, this creature called Lavos just emerged from the ground and absolutely destroyed pretty much everything.
Facebook happened. Yes, Facebook happened.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Alright, so we are done with Aristome. We just need to exit and bring that seed that we acquired over to Doan, I believe is his name.
Doan.
D-O-A-N?
Yes, D-O-A-N.
Please just... Chrono, please. Moving is hard in this game sometimes. Alright. Now we're going to get some silence before that amazing song. Why does Lava show up? He has been inside the planet for a very long time. I think pretty much just absorbing, getting stronger. And just one day hits that point where it wanted to be. And unleashes his might.
I don't believe it's ever explained as to why he's here, but we just know when he arrives.
Yes. Alright, so we have a bite key. I am going to take a safety heal here. It's not required, but if you mess up the next encounter, you're dead, and then it gets a little complicated. So we're going to use this Energon here. We have been restored, but we're still hungry. That is how these people have been surviving. They have not been eating in who knows how long. Alright, and with that, we're off to take a bit of a bike ride here. A little mini game. First, we do have an encounter right here. With 4 of these buggers, I believe they're called. And we're just gonna have a brief staring contest.
Before the man shows up.
Yes. Hold it right there. It is the man. And we are going to have a little race that we do need to win here. So, the gimmick in this race, we have 3 boosts we can use at any time. Johnny's going to try and just get between us and the goal, so that we bounce off the back of him and go very slow. We don't want that to happen, but we can also do the same thing to him. That was not a good time to use a boost. I do want to utilize all the boosts. We'll save the last one for the end. That was a little closer than I wanted. But we won. We're through the ruins.
So now we are the man.
Pretty much, yeah. Alright, so we're coming close to getting our next character. We have an encounter right here. God, I haven't done this on RNG in a long time.
The one thing to point out is we are going to have our first instance where the last letter is the same as another named character.
Oh, I knew something didn't look right. I missed equips. Alright, so we're off RNG, and that's completely fine. RNG's not going to really matter for much longer in this segment. Yeah, if you hit Y, you can move the boxes around. Right, so I'm going to do that equip now. I am really good at forgetting to do those. You need the load sword, you need the load bow, and the berserker. Alright, so you're going to notice I'm going to walk here. That is to skip an encounter trigger. If you run through, you will have that encounter. And I talk to Robo from the left side. That's to move Marl closer to him. If you notice me skip something like that, feel free to call me out. I don't know why. I have it highlighted in notes and I still miss lines.
Bright green highlights, might I add.
Yes. Alright, so now Luke kind of takes pity on this robot and is going to repair him. And you got kind of a little bit of story there, where she mentions that robots are not evil, it's humans that make them that way. I'm sure that doesn't reference anything. Yeah, do your Robo Jig. This is another great tune. Between this and Frog's theme, I think, are from my favorite character theme. Or Chrono's. Or pretty much anyone's, let's be honest. Alright, so we can't rename Robo O, as mentioned, because Chrono already has that. We're just gonna name him 9. Because that's just most convenient for me to hit. You can name it whatever you want, you just don't want to spend a while going through the character naming screen. Ooh, my foot is asleep. Alright, so just a little more talking, and then we are off to the factory. Now, we cannot have a party of 4. We need to leave somebody behind. We are going to bring Luca with us. And leave Marl behind. Once again, walk through that section. Just for safety purposes, because this is a marathon, I'm going to use the shelter. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in the butt. Alright, so we have two different color slimes in this factory. We have orange and green. The orange ones have really high defense. As you can see, I just crit for 2 damage. The green ones have a gimmick where if they are near an orange slime, they will deal massive damage to your party. That's going to become relevant in the next fight that we actually fight. So normally you'd still be on RNG through this point, but you're getting ready to lose it. Oh, enemies! Oh, I didn't hold up quick enough. Alright, that's okay. You can run away from enemies holding L and R. That's just cost us a little bit of time. One thing I did there is I went into the menu. When you're holding L and R, it will actually kind of fills up an invisible bar when you are in that menu. And once it's full, I do want to run. Come on, let me save. When it's full, once you leave the menu, you can then go ahead and finish running away. It's not required for these early fights, it's more so muscle memory for me. Later fights you need to do that, or else you will get hit by enemies and you don't want that happening. You might not want the RNG to increase, or you just don't want to take that damage. I have multiple encounter skips in these hallways. That's why you see me hugging the wall. Casually, you might just run through, and then you get hit. So this is where you would lose RNG. We're about to get 5 slimes. It is completely random what slimes we get. I believe it changes every frame, so we kind of have to wing this fight. Hoping for a good combo. I don't call that a good combo.
No, too many oranges.
It's fine if they were all orange. Like, it's great. I could hit them all right now if I wanted. Yeah, we'll do that. I want the green ones to get away. I cannot hit the green ones when they're by the orange ones. There's just nothing I can do, really. So that's good. I actually probably could have hit the green ones there and been okay. So yeah, even on an RNG manipulated run, this part you still have to figure out. At this point, I'm kind of just trying to take out the orange ones. So they are not an issue. They're too close. Still too close. Let's hit that top one. I'd like these to die. We're down to 1 orange slime now. Please die. Nope. Alright, just do that. I'm not worried about health at this point. We will be healing up after this fight. Please? Okay. This place sucks. Now we'll just go ahead and hold X to finish this, kill it with our regular attacks. Chrono's kind of low on health, but we should be fine. Just need, I believe, 3 more on this. The green slimes have 7 health, the orange ones have 10. Not a lot of health, but you can't hit them for a lot. Alright, so we're going to use a tech from Robo, the Cure Beam, as a cat tries to drag away my controller. I believe that's all we have to do here. So now we can go ahead, go down through here. And we're going to be coming up on the boss of this area shortly, the R series. First, we do have a password here for the Zaby machine. Oh, really? I went too quick, apparently. X-A-B-Y, Zaby. And before I forget, one other thing I want to do for this fight is I change the battle speed to 2. Just makes it a little bit easier to get hits in when you want and not get hit too many times. The future, mega lame. Right now, that's very accurate. I wouldn't want to live in this future. Alright, so we've set off an alarm. We're kind of not meant to be here. Storyline purposes, we are meant to be here. So now we're going to run back the way we came. We don't need to worry about encounter triggers. Notice I didn't heal Robo up there. That's not going to be relevant for the fight coming up. I think it'll be pretty obvious why once we get there.
Just a little. Odd.
So I can just run through the center of these hallways, although it doesn't really matter if you move around. And here is our series. We have a bit of a cutscene to go through first. Robo's going to get trashed. Notice that I can move around during this cutscene, so I'm taking this opportunity to move Chrono a bit closer to where he will need to be for the actual boss fight coming up, just so it's less he has to move. There's no reason not to do it, because you can move around, you're not doing anything else other than mashing through text. So we don't have RNG for this fight. But that's fine. We don't need RNG. I'm going to be cycloning these all to death. This should take Chrono 4 hits, and then Luca 3 abilities, mostly just to fill in time. And this is one of those parts where you don't want your inputs to be too slow, at least for Chrono. So I'm going to be trying to get into the tech menu as fast as I can. Because you don't want these enemies attacking too much. There is a slight danger of death. It's nothing huge. But they also have attacks that can take quite a while. No, let's take care of you. Alright, there's our first Cyclone. Now we're going to get hit 3 times. We do not want every hit to be on Luca. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're safe now. There's a possibility every hit can be on Luca and she'll die, which causes some issues because I did not pick up a safety revive because I've never needed it. Knock on wood. I'll just have her do a little bit of safety healing. And now we'll knock out the 3 in the back row, and that'll just leave the 3 in the front, which should go down after one more Luca attack, and a Cyclone, or just a Cyclone. Looks like it'll be just the Cyclone, looking at the ATBs right now. I need to remember to change the battle speed back after this battle. Not directly after the battle, but in the very near future. And that was our series. Not a difficult fight. Now we just have a more story dump coming up. We'll go ahead, drag Robo back to, I believe it's Protodome. And then we'll get out of this time period. In case you're wondering how to drag Robo, drag him by the head, 2 people. Hey, you can drag him by the side too. Alright, so he is being repaired once more, and we're kind of talking to him about, what do you want to do? You know, what is your future? And as it turns out, Robo's going to come along with us. Meaning now, instead of 3 people, we'll have 4 people going through this portal.
I wonder what will happen next.
Robo wants to come, so we'll go ahead and take this portal. But things might not end how you would expect. Hang on to your shorts. That portal acted kind of strange. So now we have our first end of time segment, because you cannot travel in a group of more than 3 people or you will end up here. Because that sounds logical. So we first have this old man we're going to talk to and tell us what is this place? Where are we? Where we learned this is the end of time. Apparently there's been some things going on and a lot of people appearing here. So we are going to leave one character. Robo. He did not even see the menu because I went so quick. That was another instance of just holding start and B to get out of that menu as quickly as possible. Now we will be using all the characters in this game for a variety of fights. A little bit of movement there. To get ourselves up here to Specchio. It is time to learn magic. Now, if any of you need a stretch break, this might be a good time to run around the room or walk around the room 3 times, starting at the door. And no cheating. Because that's what we will be doing. The 3 of us here will learn magic. These are the only characters we will bring here to learn magic. They are not the only characters that will have any sort of magic abilities, however. So we have lightning, water, and fire here in order. But Robo will also have shadow magic, which will become very relevant in about an hour and change. Now we get some little cool animations, followed by a very important skip. These are kind of cool animations. I'm going to do that as soon as I go to Medina. No, we don't want to try it out. Chrono, please run through the door. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. And even though I don't feel I need it, because this is a marathon, I would rather take extra safety saves. So now we're going to take this pillar of light and go to Medina Village. And see where it dumps us out at. And as it turns out, in someone's wardrobe. Because that makes sense. Ooh. There's cake here. You know what? I don't like the look of this party. I'm going to switch it a little bit. And now, instead of sitting through all that text, we can actually just move freely and save a lot of time. Alright, so of note, we are not on any sort of RNG at this point, which is intended. So I have 2 different strats to do here, depending. I want to slash you. RNG for this segment just doesn't matter. Got some more dual techs. Now I just need to make my way through this place, skipping as many encounters as I can. There are going to be 2 encounters that we will be fighting. This is the first one, and by fighting, I mean running away from. And hopefully no more than 2. Oh, really? That doesn't actually affect anything, it's just slow because of that animation. Now introducing just going straight for the cake, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
The cake is alive, though.
So again, skipping an encounter there, and this is the second encounter we'll have. And we'll actually have 2 more encounters coming up that we're hoping to skip. The first one with a fade out. I wasn't fast enough in opening the menu there, so Marl got it hidden. And then another encounter that will hopefully be skipped by walking. And then we'll have another boss skip. Right here is the fade out that I didn't go far enough for. So right there you can hear the battle music, but the encounter's gone. And we skipped the bats. Awesome. Alright, so off the Hecarim skip, which is going to look a little odd, I am going to use fade outs and save anywhere. I'm going to do that to save at a very specific part. I'm just going to do this right now. CRL. Because otherwise I will forget. It's okay if you do that there. It's not okay if you do that during Yakko skip. So I'm making my way on the save point. Going to go all the way to the right. I'm going to save. Going to reset. I want to now run and land on a very specific frame. Which I did right there. We're going to save and load once again. If all goes well, we can now move up to Hecarim, but we will not actually be fighting him. Because apparently that just ends the encounter. Now, it is possible to walk through Hecarim and just leave this place right away. I've done that. It's fast. It also makes it so you have to come back here because you haven't activated the trigger for the next part of the story. So now we're just mashing through text. We don't need to fight Hecarim. And I was not joking, by the way, when I said I need to land on a very specific frame, which you can see by Chrono's running animation after that first save. So it's nice when you get that first try. Alright, and going back to End of Time, where I'm going to do some really weird-looking movement, all in the hopes of acquiring another Save Anywhere glitch, because we will lose the current one we have. If I fail it, there's a backup to get. So this segment is going to look quite odd. It's pretty much starting from the moment we walk in here. I need to move in a specific direction. There's a very specific, deliberate movement. Okay, now we want to walk over that portal. Line ourselves up over here. I think I already messed it up. I very much messed this up. Oh god, the same thing I do every time! I actually had it there. What I meant to do is swap two characters and I retain movement. Muscle memory. It's a hard thing. Well, I could say I kind of had it. Alright, so we're here for our second bird skip. 2 for 2. We will be here another 2 times to do that. Alright, so this does mean we have to get a backup save anywhere. So, unfortunately, it costs us time. First, we want to go to this bridge. As to progress the story, we need to talk to the Knight Captain. Where we just mentioned, hey, the rations have run out, and there's supplies at Guardia Castle. So we're going to go get those supplies. I'm sure they have a lot of food to give.
Mm-hmm. Tons.
Yeah. Everyone will be nice and full. So once again, making our way through this forest. Again, skipping all those encounter triggers. We're going to go see the Knight Captain's brother, the Chef. We're also going to go see that pillar on the wall, apparently. Run down.
He's a bit jerky.
Ooh. I have one more text. There we go. And now the chef will meet us out here and give us 2 items. The rations that we will be bringing all the troops, which is a solitary piece of jerky, and a power tab for us. And at this point, now we'll go get the backup save anywhere, because, surprise, we're going to skip another boss. And I believe that's actually our last boss skip of this run. I'm not sure. There's going to be a lot of hard boss fights coming up. This is kind of the last simple segment, I'd say. So we're going to revisit the cathedral, because just a couple rooms in, there's a save point right by a door where we can acquire save anywhere. And then the boss skip coming up is going to be quite similar to the Hecarim skip we had just recently done. Pushed my luck a little too much there and faded out completely. Going to make sure I'm on that properly. And just to double check. I'm not actually going to save there, there's no need. I will be saving coming up to utilize this glitch. Alright, so we're going to have a lot of saving and loading coming up here. As I almost saved and loaded there just out of habit. That looks like a good pixel, hopefully. So I'm trying to skip a trigger to progress. Didn't get the one there. That's why we could just save and reset. I always push myself a little too much on that one. That looks good. So we should now be through the Zombor portion. Once we load, we can just run forward. Kind of talk to that skeleton and peace out. Alright, and with that, we are on to the Massa and Mune segment, which I'd say is going to be the first very challenging portion of this run. If things do not go right the entire time, you will be seeing resets. Hopefully you will not see any. I need to do a bit of menuing here. Chrono needs the Berserker. Robo needs quite a few items.
Does this keep the jerky? I do believe it does, but I don't believe we use it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I actually think that's right. Alright, so I'm saving and loading. That might have been a little late. We could just apparently clip onto this area. That's called Tata Skip. And now I need to see deliberate damage here, so I'm going to pause afterwards. See which strat I'm on. 386. That's exactly what I expected to see. That did not go at all correctly. Marl went a lot slower than she was supposed to. Marl, Luca. Let's try that again. And as it turns out, no, I just read the wrong ATB. That's something that's easy for me to do. And we're going to run away. And now I need to skip the rest of the encounters on this mountain. So there is going to be a few skips coming up. There's a lot of encounters I need to skip, actually. Some are a little bit easier than others. This room can be a bit challenging. I need to go faster than that bird after I get up here. So don't get stuck on a corner, which normally happens to me. Grab that mid-ether. Don't go down in that room right here. I've learned that the hard way. Another encounter there. There's about 5 encounters here. Just go up a little bit and then hold left. Then we have a waterfall skip to skip another encounter. Go up to that rock, hold left. We skipped an encounter there. There's an encounter at the bottom of this ladder. That's why I hold left. Apparently there's encounters on this screen. Save point. There's no point in getting that because of RNG reasons. I'm going to grab, I believe it's a speed tab. Yep. And then do a little more menuing.
Yes, you do keep the jerky, by the way. I do see it listed there.
Okay, there's our answer. One more skip here coming up. That was almost... Oh! Why'd you get forced to the right? I got juked there. I thought I had the pixel perfect clip. Alright, so we're back at the start. This is how this segment goes, y'all. That is 193. Now you might notice I said 193 and that was clearly 386. That is because that is the correct answer. That looks really odd, and I'm hoping that doesn't mess with RNG. I've never seen the enemy face right. Well, we'll find out. So in case you missed this the first time around, you get to see it again. Hopefully the final time. As you can see, that corner just decided to stop me. You do need to beat that enemy or else you'll have an extra encounter. And every encounter, whether you do anything in it or not, does change the RNG. RNG in this game is pretty interesting. Unfortunately, I don't understand it enough to explain it, but there is an article on the wiki regarding it. I recommend anyone that's interested in checking it out. Just checking out the wiki in general. Alright. Back here, unfortunately, we do have to do all that menuing again. Fortunately, there wasn't much menuing there to begin with, just using the tabs. Alright, let's try this bird skip again. One, two. Now the bird will fly away, and hopefully we are on the correct RNG. We will know very quickly. This fight has two parts to it. First, we have their split form before we have their full form. The split form doesn't actually take us too long. Yeah, it turns out they're not just letting us grab the sword. They don't like that. Alright, fingers crossed, because this is kind of a challenging portion. A good start. I found my issue. Yep, okay. I now know what my issue was. Once again, y'all, read your notes. That has a heck of an effect. And this is why my estimate is so long. I am very much a newer runner of this game. So still learning, still getting used to everything. You gonna be the 195 this time? Yes, okay, so that's a different pattern. I wanted to hit fire and I couldn't. Okay. I had a feeling that that was the issue before, but... Once again, up the mountain. I feel like there are songs about this. That's right. We'll get it this time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is really where I think the challenging part of the run begins. The segment after this isn't too bad. But don't go down, jeez. But afterwards, it's pretty much hard from here on out. Oh, come on.
Don't forget to switch the order if you have to again.
Oh, yes I do. Thank you for that. I probably should have just resaved with it. Okay, 193. I forgot to count footsteps. That's probably an extra. This is kind of the challenging part of an RNG manipulated run. Now, one small thing goes wrong in certain segments, that's the segment over. There are many, such as earlier, where we can do backup strats. Unfortunately, we don't have one for this, because Masamune is a very tough fight. So we kind of want it to go exactly as planned. Just hold right. There we go. Didn't hold diagonal that time. Alright. I'm feeling much better. Do that menu again. Level 8. I don't think you're meant to be level 8 and be here. Okay. We should be good. We just need to actually do this fight correctly. You kind of get used to knowing what attacks are going to hit you. You can also in certain situations, you know what your attacks are going to be. And that's how you can tell if you're on the right RNG. As soon as I saw them do an X strike, I knew that wasn't right. Stay hydrated, y'all. Yeah, this looks better. Robo should be on the right. Hey, fire. Do an attack, and then one more fire should end this portion of the fight. As Chrono's going berserk, which makes him faster and deal more damage. That still is not... Ugh. I couldn't tell you why that didn't work.
Beers do always count. Yes, beers always count.
Back on the mountain again. Not supposed to mean... Damn. Not supposed to open the menu that early. We do actually want Chrono getting hit there to increase the RNG. Worst case, if I struggle a lot with this, we have ways. I didn't change the characters. Let's do this. There. We haven't really talked about why we're here in the first place. So we're here to get the sword, the Masamune. Specifically, our plan is to go and defeat Magus.
Because at this point in the game, we are led to believe that Magus is the reason Lamos is here.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, not true.
Yes, we are trying to save the world. I was convinced by my peers that that's the right thing to do. On the plus side, this is nice, relaxing music. Whoa. That's what happens when I look away for a moment. Alright, please tell me it's the final time I have to do this menu. Not a mid-tonic. We will have plenty of mid-tonics coming up. After Masamune, we will actually be going shopping, getting plenty of safety items. Alright. I think I was too slow earlier. This is one of those times when you do want to be quick on your fire inputs specifically. And I think we kind of saw the reason why. So I might actually pause then to try and make this a little bit easier. It's something I try and avoid doing through the run, but you know, when you gotta do it, you gotta do it. Not yet. I can't really go any faster than that. There's the crit we wanted. Whoa. Wasn't trying a double pause there, but I think we're good. Robo is set to Rocket Punch, and we should move on to Phase 2. There we go! And Phase 2... honestly, I think it might be a little bit easier, because pretty much all of our attacks are going to be during animations. I don't need to do them super quick. So Chrono is going to be going ham. We're going to, as I mentioned, be waiting on our attacks for certain moments. It's going to be a lot of rocket punches and a lot of fires from Luca. So I'm just going to focus, I think, during this fight. But wait, we're kind of manipulating who Masamune is going to hit, when he's going to hit him, if he's hitting at all. I may have actually messed this fight up. We'll see. Alright. That's what I wanted to see.
Not a low-level challenge specifically. We will be low-level. It is just a no LSS for Lavo Shell Skip run. Any percent.
I think we're good right now. Yep. This is looking normal. I have one more attack that I will need to input, which is a fire punch. That should be GG on the fight. We might have another Berserker attack. I don't recall if there's any after this. There we go.
Alright.
I promise you I know what I'm doing. It might just take me a few times. Yeah, the reason why we need to carry RNG up to this point is you can see Masamune hurts. We can only take so much damage. I'm pretty sure at this level, he can actually one-shot us. World record for this is 2 hours, 47 minutes, and 17 seconds. My PB is just under 3:20. But there's also been a lot of improvements I've made since then. So even with having to do this multiple times, I still feel like I can beat that. Yeah, it's 7 HP, and that's not the scariest part of this run.
It's not. From watching practice runs, I can verify that.
Any percent LSS. Yeah, 20 minutes faster. I misread that. I thought that was no LSS. Apologies. I think I'm just going to make a safety save right here. Even though there's absolutely nothing of danger coming up, I'm just going to make 2 safety saves. Alright, so we have a pretty significant menu portion here. Come on. Okay, let's try it this way. Nope. Sometimes this just doesn't work, and I will not understand why. Those are unequipped. Now I'm going to sell pretty much all the equipment I have in my bags. Almond tunic. Sell those equipments. And the reason why we're selling the equipment is I now buy my safety items. I didn't need to go that far out. That allows us to do the unequipped glitch because we need to have nothing in our... No equipment. No equipable equipment in our bags when we do that for that character. So we kind of missed Tata's backstory. So it turns out he found this hero badge somewhere, and everyone thought, well, he was the hero I was going to defeat Magus. And it turns out, no, he wasn't. He found it, picked it up, and before he could sell it, people just thought he was the hero. You can run through those guys. No news in this trip. So we have 2 items we're getting here. We have the magic scarf, and here's Frog.
Hi, Frog!
I'm sorry, here's G. We're going to talk to him and show him that we now have the broken sword. And there's the rest of it. Turns out Frog had it. So now our goal is going to be to get this repaired. Also, CL... Oh, nope. Do you want to set my party? So back once more to Truce Canyon to go to the end of time. I got forced to the right and I didn't want that. Careful of those snakes. We are on RNG. I would like to maintain RNG. However, this segment, if you're not on RNG, it is still very safe, even through the boss fight. I believe the video guide for this run even said, like, you will not die on that boss on Nizbel, and I'm thinking, yeah, watch me. No, you really shouldn't die on Nizbel. So we cannot skip this encounter. I just have to flee. We do not have save anywhere at this point, I don't think. Actually, if we do, it's just not worth using. No, we do not have save anywhere, because we did pass a screen with a save point on the mountain. Alright, to the Nizbel segment. First stop, we have Melchior, who we did not visit earlier. He is very important to our quest. Now, Flea will be coming up. We have one segment to go before we make our way to Magus's castle, which has some of the best cutscenes. Start a fade out here, so we can skip, unfortunately, good music, but skip a lot of Melchior's dialogue. And if you wanted to test to make sure you did speak to him, you can do save there and make sure you're on the portion of the rare red rock. If you are not, you need to do that again. Okay, off to the Mystic Mountains. Our first trip to the prehistoric era. So I'm immediately going to manipulate some reptites by closing text boxes at a very specific point. So we're here, we're on this mountain, and in Looney Tunes fashion, we wait and then fall. Because there's nothing there. Alright, should have a decent pattern here. This should take 2 turns, I believe. Nope, I was too quick on my slash. No. Oh no, the one got in the way just in time. There we go. So I closed the text boxes at deliberate points to get these enemies to line up, so it only takes a couple turns. Both these next 2 fights. That's a lot of reptites. I don't think we're going to handle all those.
I wonder if someone's going to come help us.
Oh, hi, Ayla. As she's known for now. There's a first slash, and we can just flame toss the rest. Am I on the right one? Yes, I am. So they line up super well. Alright, let's set my party before I forget. Kind of important to do for this part. We want to have Robo in the party. Specifically for some dialogue coming up. His dialogue will be much quicker than anyone else's. By the way, her name is Kama, which makes it really a pain to read the text, but we don't need it. So again, you can name them whatever you want, you just want them to be named one character, and you don't want to spend a lot of time doing the naming. We have some funny dialogue there. We're from the day after tomorrow, apparently. Alright, change my party now. CLR. Ayla, get out of my way. There's a chest there. We will be visiting that chest a bit later. We do have an unskippable encounter right here. And then just skip a little more here. I think you can actually skip out on the left, but just for safety purposes, I go to the right. Also for safety purposes, since it is a marathon run and I have plenty of shelters, I'm going to do that. It shouldn't actually be needed for what's coming up. So now we're going to have a big old party. With a lot of singing, a lot of dancing, and a lot of soup drinking. Alright, so I want to go over here, talk to Robo. No time to celebrate. He's going to do the Robo Dance. Feel free to dance along. We need to wait on him to do this 4 times and then speak to him once more. Once he's done, he'll just be standing there. And he can talk about the soup, which we are now going to eat in a soup drinking, eating, whatever you want to call it, contest. It really looks like more like drinking. So for this, you just need to mash A. You don't need to actually mash it hard or fast, but it is very much possible to not mash it enough. We just need to drink more soup than Ayla. How many bowls will I drink? I lost count.
If you guessed 10, you were right.
Nope, because I just drank another one.
Okay.
Fooled ya! I was hoping you'd say that. Alright, so now we find that our gate key has been stolen, which is what we use to activate these portals. And we need to go get it. So we're going to first go speak with Ayla, let her know, hey, we've had something stolen from us. And she's going to say, must be the reptites. Let's talk to the people in the village to find out information, which we are definitely going to do. We're just going to leave this party as is. So we're going to head directly to the forest maze, do another fade out to skip Kino's dialogue. And then this forest maze has quite a few I didn't get close enough, I don't think. Yeah. So what happens when you push your luck too much. This forest will have many encounters that we will be skipping. We won't actually be fighting anything in the forest. I think that's enough. Yep. So I have a very deliberate route I will be taking. The terrain here is absolutely horrendous. As you can see me just getting stuck on pretty much everything. So I skipped at least one encounter trigger there. I'm going to skip another one right here by hugging this wall. And then I have one final one that's in a pretty ugly spot. Right over here above that vine. Which is why I went a long way around it. Alright, and inside the reptite lair. Hopefully dodge those encounters and go straight down this first hole. And we're going to start this fight immediately. You don't actually have to fight all these enemies, but it's just faster. We want to get hit ideally for 34. Good. We are on RNG for this. I was supposed to hit fire there. I'll have to do it for the next one because we want to have Lucas set. Next up, a Megasaur. We're going to lead that off with lightning. And that is because it increases, or I guess lowers, the creature's defense. Have Ayla attack, have Chrono attack. Now set Luca to fire. I was a little slow on that, so hopefully it took. Once again, just dodge the enemies at this point. A couple more here we want to dodge. And we'll flee from this, and then will be time for the boss. Which this boss, you would think, might be a little difficult. It's not. It's one of the easier ones on this run, even at our level. Because of the Unequipped Glitch, we will be taking very little damage. I just want to do that. Ayla gets the Berserker. Yeah, we'll use another shelter. Alright, so we have multiple different ways of doing this fight, depending whether or not we're on RNG, whether or not the boss decides to do a Quake. We'll see what we get. Alright, let's go. Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that strat. Like, I have my options, even if I don't follow the intended strat. Again, this fight's pretty safe. We're not in any danger of dying. Alright, boss should zap us here. Yep, there's that. One other thing about the Berserker, which does become relevant. Anyone that is Berserked will have priority on their attack. If they have an attack queued up at the same time as someone who doesn't have the Berserker. That'll be relevant very shortly. Alright, so that's the list of strat for this. So now I'm just gonna put the controller down, stretch my fingers, take a drink. Let Ayla finish this off. Ideally, the reason for this is we want to remain on RNG up until Magus' Castle. If we are not on RNG at that point, it is really easy to get back on it, on the easier portions. So of note, Ayla has the Berserker on. We are now going to lose control of Ayla. We will not have her in our party. We cannot unequip it. So we will need to get another Berserker, because that's pretty important to have. Fortunately, we did pass a chest with a Berserker a little bit ago, and we will be passing right by it once again. And apparently Ayla is still a little bit full. There's a little movement optimization if you go through that door, facing left or right. But it takes me so long to get that set up, it's pretty much not worth it for a short text box like that. Alright, going to go to the top of these and start the encounter from up here, and that's just for manipulation reasons. Just get these 4 enemies. Now we'll go grab our Berserker. This is not a rerun, I am doing this live. Unless you're watching this not right now, in which case, yes, it is a rerun. Imagine someone watching this on YouTube hearing me say, no, this is live.
Correct. No lava shell skip.
Yes. Alright, so we have our Berserker. And we are done with the Nizbel segment. And off to deal with Magus' Castle, which isn't terrible. It's very much not simple. Once I get through Magus' Castle in particular, from then on out, it's going to be a massive challenge. Alright, so back to Melchior. Now we can go get the Masamune actually repaired. You know, if I'm not running into items. I'm good at doing that. We're going to do another fade out, and I need to remember switch my party during this. So let's do that right now. I want CML. So take note of what my party is right now. Why did that not work? I didn't talk to him. Alright, that's going to mess up my party a little bit, I believe. Let's do that, and then talk to him. Alright, so what that normally would do is it would actually switch Robo back into the party. It doesn't really matter, but it's interesting to look at. So an optimization I'm doing here, when Melchior is doing an action that's not running, or not walking, because his heck ain't running, we are going to run into him, and that actually makes him move faster. If you do it while he's moving, it makes him move slower. As he headbangs to nice corridors of time music. Yes, okay. Thank you. You have the Dreamstone that I totally brought you. This song is just so amazing. We will be hearing it again, unfortunately, not for very long. Oh, there's Robo. Okay, so he's back. I don't know why he does that. I thought it had to do with us doing the switch during the fade out, but I guess not. Alright, so now we need to bring this to Frog. Meaning it'll be time for our third attempt at a bird skip. Which one is it? This one, right? No. I always do... No, it's not the top one. Is it? Oh yeah, I'm going the Frog. Duh! I am losing track of where I'm going. Ugh. Look, y'all. I'm not a morning person. It's early for me. I woke up very early. Come on. 3 for 3. It's not a massive skip, but it does save time and saves the RNG. Alright, so off to Frog, where we're going to have a massive story dump. The first of 2 in quick succession. Oh for 3 on news. Alright, so if you haven't played this game before or watched it, I'd recommend watching this, seeing a lot of story dump for Frog. If you have played it, now is a great time to get up and stretch and do whatever you need to do. Ugh, I think I'm just going to rest my voice during this. Unfortunately, I do have to mash through all this text. Turbo is allowed on the leaderboards. The controller I'm using actually has turbo. I've had issues with it when I didn't want it, so I just choose to not use it, but it is acceptable for anyone that might be curious. Which is very useful in a segment like this. It's a hero badge, or hero medal, I forget which it's called. Happens to be right in the middle of the run, yes. If I was using turbo, this would be a nice bathroom break. The bathroom break I do get is coming up in... 25 minutes, roughly. You only want to get in the run. Alright, so this is portion 1 almost complete. Magus has to have his fun. This is Frog, or G as we call him, prior to the transformation.
And at that moment, Ozzy was not in the jam.
For once. The Frog's considering, can he do this? He's going to wake us up and tell us the news. Alright, need to set my party. I want Robo in the party. Alright, last chance at seeing a new here. I think I have like 10% chance to spawn. It doesn't affect the run at all, but it's nice to see. Nope. Is this a case of no news is good news? Probably not. So towards what was Mount... No, this isn't Enduro. I don't know what this one's called. Magus's Cave. We'll just call it that. And we have more plot dump for Frog, followed by the best animation in the whole game. By the way, y'all, we are hopefully halfway through the run. Hopefully. So we're just getting more backstory at this point, with Cyrus becoming a knight, Glenn continuing to follow. And we will be seeing Glenn's actual transformation coming up, along with him acquiring the hero medal. Haben suplexed the train. Yeah, that one might beat this one.
I'll agree on the train. It's getting suplexed.
It's hard to beat that. Once again, stay hydrated. There's Frog. And here comes the medal. So as mentioned before, I believe we are still on RNG. I will know when I enter this cave. If I need to, I can reset afterwards. And it's pretty much the biggest window I have to save and reset. It's almost a full second. Whereas certain RNG manips require like a 1/10 of a second window. Very small. Alright, here we go. Hope you didn't like the look of this mountain. That sword can slice open the mountain. Alright, so something important on this fight. We're going to be showing Frog our newly learned magic. I am going to get hit in this fight. I want to see a 19 hit. Like so. I think 2 hits is okay. So, as you can see, we displayed the magic of running away. Spoiler alert, we will not be getting Frog his magic. Please make it. Yes. I am going to take the safety save. I'm going to go ahead as if I'm on RNG and see what happens. All these bats. There's one hanging by us. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's nothing.
It's definitely nothing. It's all in your head.
So how this castle will work. First, we need to go to both the left and the right side until the final rooms. We are going to see a lot of strange things on the way. A lot of people, some of which we'll recognize. But it's awfully quiet inside this castle right now. We'll run through these characters. We'll get some strange dialogue. I do need to grab that chest on the way back. I also totally missed running through my mother. What's she doing here? So that's the right side. Now we'll go up the left side. We'll see more of the same. People, but not really anything else. Let's go back to the start. So quiet. Oh, a save point. Oh, wait, what just happened? I can't save. So here's where we will find out if we are on the correct RNG. We have friends. That is what we wanted to see. Come on, Robo. There we go. We'll do a rocket roll, set Frog, the slurp. We won't actually... It won't do anything, but it sets the memory cursor there, which is why you see me do that type of thing at the end of certain fights. Let's do an equip menu that I totally have never forgotten before. This is a very important menu. Now, you want Power Scarf. Frog does not want a helm anymore. Come on. How did I do that? There we go. You don't want the helm, you want a ruby vest. Apologies for dogs in the background. Oops. And Frog also needs the all-important Berserker. That's going to be extremely important on the flea fights coming up. Alright, so I don't want to get into any encounters with these. So here is Flea? Question mark? Seems like a regular old fight. Ah, that was an easy boss. Heck yeah. Oh, wait, there's that bat again. Now it's time for the real Flea. This fight's rather interesting. So, I made mention earlier about the Berserker. Anyone with a Berserker gains priority if your ATBs are up at the same time. With Frog's stats where they are right now, both he and Flea will have their ATBs fill up at the same time. Frog will be doing an attack with the Berserker, and it resets Flea's ATB. So Flea is not going to be attacking us beyond, I believe, his first attack. So I'm just going to put the controller down for a bit. There's 1. 2. I'm not going to actually count all these. Not out loud. I am
3,
counting. I am counting in my head. I need to wait for the 16th hit. I am not going to let Frog defeat him solely. That was 4, I believe. Solely because we still need to manipulate RNG for the slash fight. Fortunately, if I do somehow lose count, I do know what the numbers look like towards the end, or are meant to look like. Now, apparently I did lose count. So this is 14. 15, and the next one should be a crit. And I have one more attack for Chrono. And that was the flea fight.
Hardest boss ever.
If only Slash was as easy. There was, I believe, a tab there on the ground, but in this route, we have no use for it. Alright, more enemies I'm going to avoid. I'm also going to grab that chest now. We do have one required fight here of these 5 enemies. They want us to help them, relieve them of their misery. Wanted to make sure I got that input in fairly quickly. And now it's off to the actual Slash fight, which has 2 phases. It is challenging. Fortunately, we do have a backup if something goes wrong. I'm hoping that is not the case. This is another instance of most of our stuff is going to be input during animation, so I don't need to be super quick on these attacks. Animations are so slow sometimes. Chrono's ATB right now is so quick, he'll actually get in 2 turns before Robo.
Yeah, that Sir Slush thing is definitely awesome.
So phase 1's pretty simple. Phase 2 is where it'll get more dangerous. Now Frog's going to be at pretty low health. A couple of us are at low health, but we will be healing up at the start of this fight. Alright, so off to phase 2. The more dangerous portion of this fight. Why is Chrono dead? Okay. Well, it looks like, this is gonna be interesting. I need to... I don't think he normally dies there. I do need to really focus during this part, so you're not really gonna hear me do much talking. I think we're actually alright. You can see we're taking very little damage right now. Wait for him to attack us. Just fingers crossed that this all goes well. Going to get hit here. That's the attack that we just take next to nothing for. At this point, hopefully everything has lined up well. We should use Yes Indeed on Frog. I need to... yes. Come on. And that slash is just to set the memory cursor, and that fight did not feel like it was correct, but we got through it. Using the strat. Cool. And our reward will be the slasher. So I have a little bit of equipping to do. I want to use the slasher. I need a magic scarf. We need the hero medal. And boy, do I need to heal up. And for safety purposes, I will take a save there. The next portion, if I get off RNG, it's totally okay. I can get the RNG back for Magus, which we very much need RNG manipulation for that boss. Alright. I need to remember after the stairs segments to set my party. If you see me going upstairs, remind me. Fortunately, we can run away from the fights in here. There are going to be 2 encounters that we will have to fight. We are forced into. Oddly enough, they sandwich 1 encounter in the same room that we don't have to fight, we can run away from. I don't know the logic behind it. Alright, so that's the first room that has 4 encounters. We're going to now go through, I don't know, challenge rooms, maybe you could call them. This first one's going to have conveyors and axes. You don't want to get hit by the axes. If I do, I will need to heal up. Pardon. Not yet, after the 4 more rooms. So you can see me kind of taking this slightly slow. Wait. I totally could have gone. Well, now I'm just going to wait. It's this one I need to go slow on. Ah! Okay. Let me go ahead and heal up now. Alright, we have our first stair room. This one's pretty simple. The trick to this is you don't want to be moving when the green, I believe it's a roly-poly, passes you. But you can do that. This room looks easy. It's a maze. You do not want to drop through the floor. So I'm following a very deliberate path. Good. And now this is the challenging room. This is the one I need to change my party immediately after. I'm trying to avoid encounters with these bird-like monsters. You see me kind of holding up on the corners of the stairs. That helps me with that. And this one's going to be a little interesting. We're going to use Robo to detract that bird. Good. Okay, change my party right now. It's important that I do this, because we do want Marl to get some tech points from this. They'll be learning an ability. I don't recall which one it is, but it is required. A lot of these abilities, you'll notice we use immediately after we get them. That was slow. Nice one, Frog. Alright, so we'll be off RNG. We'll have to get it back from Agus. And that bird doesn't want to die. One thing being on RNG really helps us with is getting critical strikes when we want it. And unfortunately, we didn't get it there. So that's one encounter. Here's the second one, and we're just going to run away from this one. I never split for Slash. Oh well. Change my party to Chrono, Frog, and Luca. Also known in my mind as the Canadian Football League. CFL. I think of that every time I read my notes. Alright. Last fight before Ozzy. Need to fire the bottom left, and then we'll finish off with an X strike. These enemies, depending on their state, you can only really hit them with physical or magical abilities, which is why we do a fight like that. I do want this chest. I want the speed bell. And then we have one more room where we shouldn't have encounters, although you are intended to have encounters. So you're going to see me go immediately to the side of the room, go around some of these pillars, then for the last one, I go up diagonally, and that skips an encounter that you would normally get in that doorway. Alright, for Ozzy, we will know for sure if we're off RNG here shortly. This is a simple fight. You do not hit Ozzy. We are hitting these levers in order from left to right. Doesn't matter what you hit him with, but for the sake of the run, we just hit it with a regular attack. Now this fourth lever, I'd love to see a 119. I don't expect we will. Okay. So after being off RNG for all that, we're on RNG. That's how it goes sometimes. Alright. Step 1, change the party, because we need Robo in here. I also need to be on the save point. Not for changing a party. But for the shelter and the safety save I am about to do. So off to Magus. So it's very important that we have this fight manipulated. Magus will put up various magical barriers, water, fire, lightning, and shadow, where you can only do significant damage to them if you use an ability of that type. So we are going to manipulate this one to utilize 2 shadow and 2 lightning barriers, which is why we need Robo. This fight can go bad, and it will for me near the end. But fortunately, we do have backups. I can guarantee Frog will take a death. I will revive him, but we will get through. Now we get some nice music coming up, and some auto-scrolled text starting now. So I don't need to mash through. Alright, we'll give you our best shot. Alright, so the way this is set up, we need to use Frog and the Masamune to lower Magus's defense, which will allow us to actually do a lot more damage. So that's kind of what this strat will revolve around. And Robo's Shadow Magic, we're using Rocket Roll for that. Now it's Animation Central. There's a lot of animations during this fight. That's the second barrier. It's Shadow.
No LSS stands for no Lavo Shell Skip. So you actually fight the Lavo Shell instead of using the Epic to ram it.
Under the lightning barrier, our first of two. Yeah, I probably should have had them just spell out what that was. Not bad for not thinking of that. So there's a nice animation there where I can actually queue up all three of these attacks and not waste any time. Our fourth barrier, another lightning. It is done in a very glitchful manner. That's about as much as I can explain to you on it. Simply because I've never learned it. Frog, there we go. Wanted to wait for an ATB there. I totally should have done that quicker. I would have actually had the pattern. I'm so used to not having the pattern. Alright, so at this point is when I kind of revert to the backup strat. Which works. So as long as it works. Frog needs to just attack, you need to slash, you need to rocket punch, and we're going to do that for pretty much the rest of the fight, with the exception of we will have to revive Frog. It's very important that we revive Frog because we do want him to get all the tech points. Actually, maybe not tech points here, but the experience. So I will knock out Frog. It should just be Frog. I'll bring him up, and then we can finish off the fight. So as you can see, the first part you really need to be on RNG for, but the last part is not too dangerous. Alright, and that's the Magus fight, meaning my bathroom break's coming up very shortly because the text will be auto-scrolling itself. I hope everybody has enjoyed the run so far. We are now entering the challenging portion of the run. There's a lot that can go wrong, potentially some resets. We hope we don't have that issue, because we do need to stay on RNG for a good chunk of it. Alright, I'll be back in a moment.
They don't need the
He definitely.
Okay. So now we're back. The text is done auto-scrolling. Alright, so the next segment is going to be Tyranno's lair. I am going to be saving before I enter, and if anything goes wrong with the RNG, I will be resetting to the entrance of the lair. It's a definite time loss, but it's very important for last boss we stay on RNG for reasons you will be seeing. We will be very close to death. So much text we have to mash through first. Alright, so we have another fade out here coming up. First we gotta go deep enough just to talk to this person on the left, this little kid. We'll do a fade out and hold it all the way to a cutscene trigger that we want to skip, which also has the added benefit of teleporting us back to the start of this area where we want to be. That was not deep enough. I'll do shorter steps for this portion just so I know for sure when I'm there. I think we're right there. Okay. So I have a couple encounter skips that are going to be coming up that are pixel perfect horizontally. I'll probably spend so much time trying to line the one up that it would have been faster to just get in the encounter and run. But it looks cool when you do it. That's the important part, right? You need the swag. I also have two chests we need to grab along the way. We have this first one up here at the top with the mid-ether, and then I believe it's the Meso Mail we will be picking up on the next screen. So here's the first trigger. Helps if I go up first, then over. I am lined up. Nice! Got that very quick. Again, pixel perfect. And we'll have another one coming up momentarily, right up here. One more. Nope. Okay. There we go. So yeah, I'd say doing those skips this run was faster than if I had just gotten in the encounters. Okay, so here's our friend Ayla. She is heading to Tyranno Lair to rescue people, including Kino, even though we just saw him. She wants to do it alone. We're not going to allow that. And we're also going to have, I believe, the second biggest menu of the run. Alright. Oh, that was a red star in the distance. Interesting. It seemed very bright. I'm sure it means nothing. Alright. Whoops, I was supposed to equip my mail on somebody. Where are you? There we go. Okay, where am I in my notes? Frog gets the bronze mail. Robo. Moral needs to lose her hat. Chrono. And Luca. And now for RNG manip. That should be good. Hopefully we do not revisit that spot again. I make no promises. So I'm going to run away from the 3 fights here. I do want to take this moment to set Chrono to Cyclone. That's going to be very important coming up. Because of how fast we'll need to enter that attack, you pretty much need it set to that already. We'll kind of be in a race with Ayla for who attacks first. Run away from this. And then just a little bit of story here. Mash A Central. I know I haven't necessarily done the greatest job of showing off this speedrun, but I promise you it's actually not a terrible speedrun to learn if you're new to RPGs. This is my first RPG speedrun. Something I never thought I'd be able to do. There was a lot involved, but this one really isn't too bad. You know, worst case if something goes wrong, you save and reload, or rather reload from an earlier save, and you get a time loss. But I don't think there's any glitches that are extremely difficult to do. The hardest part is there are times when you need to be super fast on your inputs. That might be the biggest challenge. And that banger of a song. Bangers of songs. So many of them. Alright, hold down left and goodbye enemies. Walk through this section. Bye-bye. And apparently there's encounters in this room. There's definitely encounters in this room. And on to our first of 2 volcano fights. Which I learned earlier, you can actually skip this fight by accident, but we do want to fight these. Why is Ayla's attack so far behind? That concerns me. Hoping I didn't mess up an equip. We'll find out. Alright, another fade out here to skip this boss. Actually, I don't think it's a boss, just a mob. And there is a backup you can do here with that save point. I simply have never had it work for me. You will need the Berserker. I'm gonna double check my equipment real quick, just in case. Something's just not seeming right, and I'd rather not go all the way back to the start. So there's us learning Sting Cut, as well as Ice Sword. Those are required for this boss. That is the wrong button. Alright, so let's check. Power Scarf. Power... No, you Berserkers, correct. Magic Scarf. Meso Mail. No Tunic. Frog should have the Bronze Mail. Robo has a bunch of stuff. Where's Robo? All the way at the bottom. High Tunic. Marl has no cap. I also did that. You have the Ruby Vest. And Lukashev the Speed Belt. Okay, well, we're rolling with it. Well, I had a feeling I didn't make it all the way to the cutscene trigger. We're back! That's why I did the equip before saving. So yeah, if I did that again, I would be forced into another volcano encounter, and that would throw off the RNG, which is why I just have to reset there. I hope that didn't mess up RNG. Tried going in the menu a little too early. I'm trying to time it by watching the ATBs. So if y'all missed the story from Kino, here's your opportunity to reread it. As long as you can read fast, that is. I gotta mash through. Alright, unfortunately we won't know for sure if we're good on RNG until we get to the Chrono fight. So kind of fingers crossed until that point. Again, walk through the encounter trigger there. Yep. I'm lining myself up there with the floor. And you do have some leeway on it, but if you're too much one way or the other, you will get into encounters, which we really don't want. Alright, let's try this again. That looked a lot better. What normally happens when you mash A there is you will get Chrono and Ayla both. What does no LSS mean? No Lavos shell skip, which is a glitch that can save about 20 minutes in the run. But it's very complicated and, to me at least, doesn't look very fun for me to do. Although I kind of do want to learn it someday, potentially. Let me just do Ayla's equip here now. I'll be a little safe here. I'd rather take a few extra menus. There we go. And it forces us into another encounter. Yeah, nobody likes left side swamp, let's be honest. Alright. Just a couple more encounter trigger skips to go. And then we'll have the Black Toronto boss, which is very difficult. You need to be precise. Now I could skip this button. The issue with doing so is you potentially are not centered in the room. Going to a specific portion here. Good. Alright, we are at the boss. I think I'm just going to shut up during this boss. And full focus, because one wrong move and it's over. For the first part of this boss, it's two phases. The first portion, I need to fully focus on Azala, not the boss. And then the second portion will get very dangerous if I'm slow on one specific attack, and I will know as soon as I do it whether or not I'm going to be on RNG or if I need to switch to a backup that I've never done, but I am aware of it. Here we go. Good so far. You can kind of tell if you're on the right RNG. I'll have a rock dropped on her head. I'll be on Chrono. Right. Ideally, one more attack in phase 1. Zala should die here. Good. Phase 1 done. A little bit of waiting here. We need his defense to go down. Ugh. Okay. I was supposed to wait on that. Alright. What do I want to do here? We are on a backup now. And hopefully it works out. At this point, I just need to stay healed up. Fortunately, we do have mid-tonics available. Did I mention I've never actually done this backup strat? Oh, apparently she was at full health. I kind of wasted that mid-tonic. Okay, so we're about to get blasted here. I'm just going to wait for it. I will get hit by another one of those, unfortunately. I think one more on Chrono, maybe. I'm gonna wait. Why? Oh, shoot. Huh. Oh, this just got a little more complicated. Oh. Let's use the regular ether. I just realized what you said. Alright, Chrono should be able to survive this. I really just need to stay alive at this point. Oh, I forgot to wait for the defense to go down. I might just use a mid-ether. I'll actually get a backup one later, so... we will get through this fight. I can Ice Sword in and then heal, I guess? I don't know if he needs it. I'd rather use it to be on the safe side. He definitely didn't need it. 277 health. Okay. I'm not worried about being low on these items. I do know how I can get more if I need them. As well as we kind of usually have a lot left over at the end anyway. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna attack to get something in. So at this point is when normally the fight would be dead. Second 0. Or the fight would be dead, the boss would be dead. If you do things correctly. Oh, I have multiple dead. Okay. That's okay. Ayla still has Berserker. I just wanted to make sure she didn't defeat Chrono right there and then. That would be awkward. Mid-tonic. Chrono. I'm glad I mid-tonic to Chrono. Yeah, okay. And now I'm just going to hope that we can kill him here. For now, we're waiting until defense goes down. I don't think it did yet. Yeah, that's what I thought. There it is. I remembered this time. Oh, no need, fight's over. Okay. Can now confirm the backup works. Alright, the important part is we are through the fight. We only had the one reset. So we have one more segment to go before we make our way to Lavos. The interesting part of the next segment, the Retinite segment, is Retinite himself isn't terribly difficult. The issue I have is getting to Retinite. Very tight stay on RNG. What happened in this fight to take us off RNG, the usual issue of I didn't read my notes well enough, and I didn't attack too early, which will just change the order of attacks, and it throws everything off. A lot of story here. So we're seeing that red star is Lavos, as we're about to find out. And he is about to hit the planet, taking a chunk of it with him. Yeah, it definitely gets complicated.
From watching the practice, for a 3.5-hour speed run, it's just funny how 1 second can make all the difference. It's crazy.
Yeah, some of these bosses do not have backups. Fortunately for this segment, we do have a backup, I believe. Yeah, I do have a backup. I shouldn't need it. I do still want to get to the boss on RNG, however. Following that, I will be required to remain on RNG the rest of the game. Which will have a long boss gauntlet coming up, where one small mistake, and it's reset. Now, unfortunately, I have had issues there lately, so I'm hoping this run doesn't go over estimate. If so, sorry to whoever's behind me. We are about to take our first and only trip to Antiquity here. So we'll get to hear quarters of time for, I believe, the final time. So we'll go back here. The ruin, this place is now ruins. It has been destroyed. Lavos showed up, destroyed Azala, destroyed the lair, and is down underground. Alright. So we're out here, and suddenly it got really cold. Azala did mention bringing about the Ice Age, and it has occurred. We have this great-looking map and this really weird-looking building.
No, unfortunately, we do not. In a speed run.
Alright, I do need to equip Ayla with something. I forget what it is. Power Glove. For once, I didn't go left there. So there's part 1 of Corridors of Time. When I first hit that, when I was first playing this game, I just stood there for a couple minutes, enjoying the song. I've been looking forward to that for so long. Okay. Off to Zeal Palace, where unfortunately it gets different music, but we will very quickly have another incredible tune.
Definitely in my top 5 of favorites for when I play through this game.
Yes. And that is it for Corridors of Time.
Ah, Nobu, the legend himself.
He did have a hand in making the soundtrack.
Yes.
So I want to avoid the healing thing there. Yes, we like plants. Secretly plant it. If I hit the wrong button, that is GG. Right, so going through, and we're going to meet Shala with an incredible theme. And Janice. Interesting looking character.
Never have seen Janice before.
Also mentioned something that I don't think we've seen before, something about Black Wind.
Yeah.
We will not be finding out the connection there during this run, but to explain it, Janice is actually Magus. The original Magus, I could say. He is from this time period and was thrown out of the time period. I want to go down these stairs. Due to stuff that occurred in the Ocean Palace. We'll go with blue fire.
Doesn't the pendant look awful familiar?
Yeah, never seen that pendant before. Oh. So now we're going to go power up our own pendant using the Mammon machine over here. And use it to go through that door.
That is an interesting fact that it gets out of sync. I almost want to find out, but that's 10 hours I'd have to spend to do so.
But it's 10 hours listening to Chrono Trigger music.
That's a fair point. 10 hours of Chrono Trigger music is certainly... I can think of worse ways to spend a day.
Okay, so we're going to open this door, get in our next boss encounter. It's going to be a very tough fight. I think I'm going to try it without healing up. I'm sure it'll go fine.
Now, that prophet, we've never seen that person before. We have no idea.
Oh yeah, no clue how he knew we were coming. Okay, so here's the Golem Fight. I'm going to do just a couple of attacks. And that's for 2 reasons. One is for RNG reasons, even though RNG's kind of dead. Come on, there we go. Do a drill kick. Do an ice. And Chrono will do a spin cut. And this is, once again, to set our memory cursor as well. We will be needing these abilities coming up. Unfortunately, we're off RNG, so I kind of have to wait a little bit longer. We are going to die here. We're not going to defeat the Golem. It would be a very difficult fight, and we have no need to defeat it. This is, once we leave this, that is the end of the main story segment we will be going along. And we are going to transition to a side quest that we just activated when we talked to that woman and told her to plant the seed. We're going to do the forest side quest. Welcome everyone from SpeedGaming 2. Welcome back to SNES Super Stars. You're currently watching a run of Chrono Trigger, any percent no Lavos shell skip abbreviated to no LSS. We are into the final hour. We have 3 segments left to go. Getting close to the most difficult portion. So Shala here is rescuing us, but unfortunately the Prophet apparently foresaw that.
We wonder why.
Yeah, it's really weird. So you would see during the credits to the ending we will be getting, the Prophet is Magus. I believe you actually see that during the credits. He ended up here when we were all flung into a portal after fighting Magus. So he knows what has happened in this age because he was Janus, which is how he's pretended to be a prophet. He knows what happened. He can tell the queen, and it's going to be correct.
Every time it's going to be correct. He's a genius.
So he is forcing us through the portal and having Shala seal it under threat of death, threatening his sister. And now we are going to go do a little bit of side traveling. Need to go back to Medina Village. We're going to get Chrono, the final weapon we'll be using for him to swallow, as well as a backup mid-ether.
Yeah, sorry, spoilers, everyone. That was Magus, the prophet.
Nobody else there knows, like Shala doesn't know. Apparently we've seen a door like the one we just saw in this building that we never went to. That makes logical sense.
Yep.
That's someplace you could go very early on, but we have no need for it. We do not need the epoch. Fortunately, our dactyls have survived. And back to this place. One of our final visits to the end of time. I think we still have a couple more. Jump! It'll catch us! Yeah, we all just saw Magus and the Prophet in the same place, coincidentally. No, I don't want to actually go in there. I do want Medina Village. So now that we have the charged pendant, we can open up those chests, like one that was in the forest, 2.5 hours ago, if you can remember that far back. So we skipped this place earlier. Forest Ruins, where we're going to do another cutscene skip here. And then we will have our choice of which chest we want. The right chest is what we will be grabbing. I let it drop too early. You could tell because the music will change. The left chest, I believe, is a defensive equipment, maybe? We're not going to find out. So here is one of the backup mid-ethers we'll be grabbing. And we'll get our swallow. And then we can leave this place and go back to 600 AD for our final bird skip of the run. Yeah, as in chat, there's some story there. That is what Magus is trying to do, and actually has been trying to do. 600 AD, yeah, okay. Make sure I'm going to the right place this time. I don't want to get called out again. Come on, like 1 pixel. 4 for 4, let's go. Alright, and off to Sunken Desert, where we will be fighting 4 encounters, plus the boss Retinite. This is a bit of a challenge. I will be having to get back on RNG here. I need to equip the Swallow, and you do not need a vest anymore. Alright, so this might take me a couple of tries here. That wasn't good. So I need to be pretty much as fast as I can be on this save and load. I don't like that. You ideally will see almost none of the save file screen. Like that. So we have 4 encounters. We'll run away from the first, and I have a lot of different cues to know whether or not I am on the correct RNG. That lapis will become very handy during, I believe it's Final Shell. Alright, I do have to be quick on this first input. I want to attack the top, correct? Yep. Why do I have Ayla up? Okay. Ice. Spin cut. Get the lower one. And hopefully we were quick enough on all of this.
Yeah, the save file screens were there for the first couple. Just very quick from this side.
That definitely was not correct. Fortunately, we got it again right away. Fortunately, once I get to the boss, we should be okay. The boss is challenging, but not terribly difficult, as well as I do have a backup strat. And yeah, if you see none of the save file screen, then you did it right. Like, it's not frame perfect, but there's only a few frames. I do not like the looks of this. I've never seen the Mojave down there. But that's the number I wanted to see. Actually, I think I was good earlier. I misunderstood. Okay. You want to be able to hit that before it hits Marl. So now we're going to learn Cat Attack. And we're going to immediately use that on this next fight. We also learned Cure. We will be using that. Those should miss. That's correct. If you miss the encounters, you're good. I need an Ice Sword. Another Cat Attack. Then we'll have one more fight before Retinite. That's up here at the top. I need to hold X at the start. You want to wait until you're proper in combat until this point to hold X, or else it will not take, and I've learned that the hard way. And you will need to be set to Ice. So we should be on RNG heading into Retinite. I am going to pick up a chest on the way, and then I'll also be healing up. First, we have another fade out here. So we can actually hit the trigger to bring Ret Knight up. I don't usually fight him up here. That's kind of interesting. Gotta heal everyone. I'm very low on mid-tonics, but we'll be okay. That's gonna make it a little more difficult. Alright. I have backup ideas. My health is much lower than I'd like, so... I do still have Cure Beam. I believe Ayla is fine at that health. So here we go. Should still be okay on RNG, I hope. If not, then we'll try the backup. Alright, so the gimmick here is we need to use Ice as our first attack on each part. And that will lower their defense. So we want to defeat the legs, and then the upper body, and then finally the core. I'm going to focus during this part, because I don't want to mess it up, ideally. Also, I see a bit of pausing, just to make sure I am on track. This part might look kind of ugly. Oh, we're good. So put that there. So we're almost done with phase 1, hopefully. Yeah.
Based on what I see, looks like the answer is no.
No. Well, the boss, I think, might heal portions a bit. But no, we're not doing that intentionally. Okay, we're about to know if we're good on RNG or not. Yep. So the legs should die here after Ayla's attack. We're good. Okay. I can kind of take my time at this point. You're gonna see me sitting around a bit, waiting on Ayla's ATB. Unfortunately, her ATB didn't quite pop there. So I'm gonna do that same pattern pretty much 4 more times. And at this point, Marley/Nadia/ this girl who's not doing much right now will get hit. Sure. Whatever you want to call her, that's entirely up to y'all. Alright, so one more set of attacks. We have one more spin cut, and then the cat attack will be on the core, and the Ret Knight fight will be over. Alright. And I'm learning plenty of abilities there. Now I have to go around and collect a decent amount of chests. We have a full ether there. We have the Aeon Helm. We have... I don't think it's that chest. 5,000 gold. We have a stair I can't apparently go up. The floor is trying to move us, so it makes moving around a little bit difficult. Alright, I need to bring Robo into the party now. Right there. So now we're going to continue the forest side quest here. Grab these backup mid-ethers, because I did utilize a lot earlier. So we're going to leave Robo behind. As you can see him tending to the field there. We're going to leave him there for a while.
Yeah, just a little bit of time.
Yeah, I am going to go do something real quick. Grab a couple more mid-tonics. Because I know I will have some gold left over. Since I know there's a shop right here. Yeah, that should be good, and we're still up plenty of gold. Because some of those are actually routed in. Look at Robo. That's a great look. Yeah, we have mid-tonics routed into the final portion of the run. Alright, one last trip up this mountain. And we do have a small visit to Guardia Castle we need to do. Not for any story reasons, but we do need to grab an elixir that's going to be required. Yes, someone is on to what we will be doing.
Yep, somebody caught on.
Don't be spilling water on my desk.
Sorry.
Okay, so we need to go to Namadina Village. Lean Square. So if you've never seen how we defeat Lavos in this run, you're going to be possibly a little impressed. It's not going to be a fair fight. I always think I need to go around the bell. You really don't. As mentioned earlier, diagonal movement will not slow you down.
Guilty, I do it too. I always go around the bell.
Alright, so we do unfortunately have to sit through a bit of a story cutscene here. Which is a shame because we don't care about the story. We're not doing anything with it at this point. We just need the elixir. But it is faster to get this. And as mentioned, it is going to be required for both of the final two fights. We're getting backstory for Marl's side quest, Nadia's side quest. The Chancellor doesn't really make it sound like it's too pleasant. I wonder why.
I did not know about the Revivify naming thing, but that is, I understand it.
Alright, so now we can go pick up Robo once more. As well as a couple more items. Speaking of picking up stuff, I still have that jerky in my bag, so I'm getting hungry. I might eat that. How would Chrono Trigger jerky taste like?
It would be timeless.
Alright, so we very quickly bought the sight cap there, and we're down to just 500 gold, so I'm glad I didn't get more mid-tonics. So once we are done this forest side quest, we'll be on our way to Lavos, finally.
He's supposed to drag him by his head. We proved that before. I'm disappointed in Chrono right now.
Yeah, they didn't even do a side. What the heck? Alright, so a little more backstory here. They're kind of talking about all the events that have transpired. And this is going to lead into Luca's side quest here. If you aren't aware, her mother lost use of her legs many years ago in an accident in the house with a machine. And we are going to somehow have a portal suddenly appear that will take us to that moment where we have the option to Have her lose her legs or save them. Because we're kind-hearted and it's faster, we're going to save them. Okay, maybe it's more so because of the second reason. Either way, whether you save her or not, you get the same reward at the end of it. But it is faster to actually do it. So Luca has woken up. And here's a random portal.
Why is this gate red?
Right? I've thought the same thing. So here's Luca's house. Did I make it back to that moment? Yes, you did. So there's Luca's mother walking around, and baby Luca. Or child Luca. And we see what the issue was. Her skirt gets caught in this conveyor, and it will begin moving. And we need to enter a passcode. Which is Lara, her mother's name. To do that, you can literally just hold down those 3 buttons, and it will input it automatically. And coming out, we will get the final item that we will need, which has already been speculated in the chat, the Grain Dream. We will be utilizing that at the end of the gauntlet, and for Lavos. Alright, and back for hopefully the final time to the end of time. Now, I have done a lot of practice on it. That doesn't mean the practice has gone amazing. So hopefully I don't have to reset. Apologies if I do. But we need to carry RNG through the entire gauntlet up until the last 2 Lavos fights.
Engineers use terrible passwords, I won't disagree. However, there is a point to be said about evil overlords and their luggage. And the passwords for that.
Alright, one final heal, and our next to last save. Now we're going to use this book that we were told about earlier to go to 1999, the day of Lavos. I'm deliberately bringing this party. We will deliberately be swapping them very quickly. You're going to see, I don't know, 10 to 15 bosses. I've never actually counted here. All in a row. We will have downtime between each one to change our equipment, to heal up, change our party. We will be making heavy use of that. Don't talk to that portal again. I have done that. Now we'll have many cues to know whether or not I'm on RNG, so fingers crossed, y'all. I'm not too worried about the beginning. It's not until we reach Shell Magus. All these fights will be refights of fights we have fought previously or we have skipped. Or we never got to. CAM... Nope, nope. I love when it double hits like that. Alright, we are going to fight. Let's do this. So Lavos kind of shows us which boss he's replicating here. And the attacks they use are very similar. The strats we use may be similar as well. We're going to be using a lot of Falcon Hit, though. It's very strong. It hits multiple enemies. We are on RNG to start. Some of these bosses will be one-shot. Later bosses will most certainly not. This is Guardian. This is a boss we skipped very early on in our third segment.
No, LSS stands for Lavos Shell Skip. If we did do the Lavos Shell Skip, we would not be here.
Yes. You can make use of something similar to End of Time Save Anywhere, it appears. I am definitely going to be pausing at a few points during this. I don't want to make a mistake. Shell Heckran. You remember him, right? That was an easy fight. Because we skipped it.
One of the easiest bosses in this run.
That's okay. That should be okay. Luca did not get her turn yet. There's Antipode and Slash, I believe. Yep. Again, I do want to take this segment a little bit easy. I do not want to mess anything up. Because, spoilers, we'd go overestimate. Fire Sword. I believe we'll make use of that. Zombor, another boss we skipped earlier. I believe I want to... Nope. Falcon hit with you. And that should be Shell Zombor. So as you can see, the first few fights tend to go pretty quickly. Okay, let's equip here. So we're about to know if we're still on RNG. You just need the Berserker. Good. Okay. Now we're at the hard part. We're at the second half. Alright, I have to do a little bit here. I need to mid-tonic some people.
I did find that very punny.
I am pause buffering this, because things didn't line up as perfectly as I would have liked. So I do lose time by pausing, but I can lose RNG if I don't. Alright, I need to be very quick on this hit coming up. We should see 550 from Chrono. As we do. Oh, we're gonna get hit first. Okay. That's a little concerning. Well, that sucks. Alright, let me actually reset that again. So we're back to the start. Not quite sure where I went wrong. But we were not supposed to get hit there. And unfortunately, as I mentioned, we need to hang on RNG for this whole part. The last fight in particular is extremely, extremely dangerous.
RNG stands for Random Number Generator.
Yeah, for the purposes of this, the RNG is going to dictate what abilities we get hit by, when we get hit, how much those abilities hit for. Yeah, so that's why that last attack needed to be super fast. It was, but somewhere during the fight, it was just a hair too slow, and I know exactly where it was. Yeah, what can you do? Here we go again. What can we talk about during this? We've gone over most of the story, I think.
Yeah.
Y'all, if you got any questions, feel free to drop them in chat and we'll try and grab them. Of note, if you have enjoyed Chrono Trigger, we also, I believe later today, have the Jets of Time randomizer. So it's 3 runs through the whole marathon, all extremely different from each other. Come on. Oh, that went way slow. That's why I try and pause buffer sometimes. I believe the bubble's okay. Three hits. Yep. I'm supposed to slash, it's not up yet, so fingers crossed it's still on RNG.
True statement. More Chrono Trigger does indeed equal more better.
I won't know until I get past this one whether or not I'm still on RNG. Yep. Alright, put on the Berserker. I say it to remind myself. Or maybe chat will remind me. Alright, so right here we will know. Good.
Alright.
Little dogs. Unfortunately, you don't get to see them today. Alright, revenge time. Tonic. No, I'm not resetting.
All because of Woody and Jesse here wanting to be involved.
Where the heck am I? I just lost my place in my notes. Oh, that was good.
No, I did, though. Kipalco here is petting the dog right now.
Hit. Okay, we should be okay. And I want to do that with Ayla specifically for cursor management. Alright.
The dog is being pet as we speak.
This is... Sorry to distract from the dog. This is probably the fight I've had the most difficulty on in practice. So please, Chrono Trigger gods, help me out here. This time we'll be getting 3 water shields or barriers, which we can deal with. One of the reasons we need to manipulate RNG is for this fight to get the proper barriers that we can handle. We can't handle fire or shadow right now. This should be our 3rd water. One more hit. Please show me a good number. Pretty please.
I believe this background is from Earthbound, I believe. It does look very similar.
So I didn't say it audibly. That was what I wanted to see. CAM. I do need a mid-tonic. I need a mid-ether. Chrono and Ayla. I'm taking this easy. I just want to finish this run at this point. And for the first time in quite a while, we're changing our battle speed. Alright, let's do this correctly. I need to provoke Azala. Keyword there being Azala. And now, we're going to be doing a little bit of waiting. We're doing setup. We're getting Ayla and Chrono hasted. We don't care about Nadia here. And now we have a couple seconds here of just waiting. We're waiting for the shell's defense to go down. Nothing to do for now other than just sit tight. She is now gone. That's fine. Alright. 9 times we have to do this. There's one. I hate when it doesn't go straight to Ayla. That's 2. I'm not gonna teach y'all to count to 9. We're just hoping everything's good at this point. That's 4. Maybe I should actually count, because I don't want a Falcon hit until the boss dies. That is not the goal here. I am not getting inputs like I want. That scares me. That's 5. If I miscount someone, please let me know. I'm not getting my A inputs as fast as I need. Fortunately, we are hasted. We do still need to be on RNG and not get hit by this attack. We get hit, that might be GG's. I think we're dead. Because we still need one more Falcon hit. Well, that's what happens when your inputs don't get taken. That's unfortunate. I put a lot of practice into that, but unfortunately we are back here until I'm told otherwise. Yeah, the future refused to change. I'm not showing you that ending. I'm not showing you the bad ending. Whoops. Alright, one more try. We're getting this. Unfortunate, that's what this game can do to you. It is a challenge. Yes, the future must change, the future will change. We are getting through this one way or another, y'all. So if you're joining, ready for the next run, apologies that this one's going just a little over. I'm getting lunch after this. Yeah, one way or another, we are getting through. Thank you for bearing with me. I promise this game is fun to run, fun to play. I do still recommend it. You know, I'm new to RPGs. There's a lot to, you deal with in RPGs that I don't deal with during my normal platformers. And unfortunately, all the practice in the world only does so much. On the plus side, by the end of this, I might have this completely memorized and not need notes. Fan. Okay, 2 more attacks on this one. Any day now. Oh, that's why we're not getting it. I'm sorry if I am being a little quiet. There's only so much to talk about, plus, I do want to focus a bit. I need to change my party again. This Falcon hit is so nice. There we go. It throws me off if the character's not in the order that their ATBs appear in and their menus.
Nipple lasers, that's...
Okay.
I will never unsee that, thank you. That's awesome.
I feel like it needs to be censored. Why?
0 MP.
Why is my MP low? Alright, well. I'm not sure why I have no MP there. I know exactly why. Alright, well, here's what this means, y'all. The run's already pretty dead. Let's admit it, this ain't PBing. What is that, Shell Masamune? Oh look, we're suddenly back. I told y'all, we're finishing this run one way or another. You are seeing an ending to Chrono Trigger. Yeah, MP Buster. I was supposed to use that with Chrono and apparently did not. Alright, let's do this last half again and do it properly. Yes, you are promised an ending. One way or another, you're getting an ending.
The future definitely refused to glitch. 100%.
Alright.
That is correct. The bad ending is an ending. That's true.
Well, I'm stopping us from seeing the world, or the future refuses to change. We're not getting that ending, dang it. I don't even know who I have selected. That's Ayla's. Okay. Back to Shell Magus. At least, like I say, I got through him the first time.
Yeah.
Actually, the one I'm most worried about is Shell Magus. I thought I had a longer wait. I'm here taking a drink of water and suddenly I need to attack. LSS, Lavos Shell Skip. It's a glitch that saves about 20 minutes. Skipping this whole segment I'm having an issue with. If I knew how to do it, I would do it right about now, but the only LSS I know is just going straight to Lavos through unconventional means. I'll leave the rest to your imagination. It may be related to how I got back here. This is why if I learn another category of this game, it's gotta be one without RNG. I think that might go a bit better. I don't know. Again, we're getting through this. That was...
You're on Magus.
Good. We're just going to say we defeated Magus. We did earlier. Honestly, I don't want to hold up the next person too much, so... Again, we're seeing an ending. And you're seeing everything that can go wrong, pretty much. C-A-M. I'm glad I had all this prepared. Yeah, this Lavos, it just does not like me. I missed the battle speed. We're going back. I was distracted by chat. I'm sorry! I guess if you're gonna have things go wrong, just have everything go wrong. Oh my gosh. There's 5 fights left at this point. Unfortunately, they are the hardest. Alright, let's change the battle speed. Alright, yeah, it is good. I'm trying, Dirt! There's my haste. Alright. Like, I feel like there's no downside to doing these hits with Chrono if I need to, but if all goes well, I shouldn't need to. So now, once again, we need to wait for defense to go down. And as soon as that happens, we're on the move. Yes, categories rearing its ugly head today. Apologies for that. There we go. Alright. Counting time. There we go! I don't know why I didn't do that before. So Ayla's getting her ATB just a fraction before Chrono. Which makes it so much easier in doing these hits. There's 3. The only issue with doing non-manipped is they are longer. Which for some people that's probably okay. It would be hard for me to do a very long run. That's 5. We need 4 more. 6. Don't worry, y'all. We're gonna be doing this again the next fight. 7. 8. 1 more, and then a couple of attacks. You can see just how much better we're doing this time. There's 9.
Yeah, this was right before 0 last time, so it's going so much better this time.
Yes. Alright, no more Falcon hits here. You should hit for 5, 3, 7. Yeah! Again, I do know what I'm doing. It's just the execution that's a challenge. Okay, let's not miss anything here in my menuing. Shell Giga Gaia, we actually did not see this boss. Mid-tonic, please, on Chrono. Okay. Giga Gaia. Oh, wait. Alright, so this fight now looks dangerous. It's not. No, I'm glad I went slow on that input. Because those side bits, whatever you would like to call them, are now dead. And those are the scary parts. Now we just Falcon hit with whoever. And we don't have to worry about anything. And then it'll be down to 3 bosses, the next one being probably the most difficult. And then after that, it's a bit of a breeze. I probably shouldn't say those words. Commencing parts restoration, so the boss will bring back those ads. However, they are going to instantly die to another Falcon hit once they respawn. Because their HP is halved. They did have 2,000, now they have 1,000. If you think this fight looks dangerous to my HP value, the next one is the scariest of them all. I hope you enjoyed this music. You will not be hearing it again, I'm pretty sure. Final Shell. One, not last menu, one last decent sized menu. Aeon Suit, Mesomale Berserker. Bandana you already have. The Green Dream. Told you all this is important. Okay, Midtonic Chrono and Ayla. And a bit of menuing there to set myself up. Alright, so this is going to look scary. I am going to focus. By the way, remember that heal we got like 3.5 hours ago? We're finally going to use it. Alright. Now hopefully we are still on RNG at this point. I will know here. Good. That's exactly what I wanted to see. I do need to count attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where I'm pretty sure I need a cat attack. Yep. So, don't look at my health. We're almost there, y'all. And now the controller is down for the rest of this fight. There's no need to press any buttons. Because there's no buttons we can press. Now it's all on Chrono.
You can do it, Chrono!
That was Final Shell. Which brings us to the finale. 2 more bosses. And I'm not worried about them. If we die, it's okay. It's a very quick reset. So this is what all the setup has led to, is this.
Don't forget your blood if it matters.
Yeah, I forgot. I need Frog in here. I now need to change out some equipment. Doesn't matter what I change it to. Oh, where's the green dream? Frog now needs that green dream. I need to change my battle speed. Just in case, actually. I shouldn't need a shelter. But, you know, better safe than sorry. Is that the right? Yep. Alright. So this is kind of complicated to explain. The very short version is we're going to take advantage of the green dream and a glitch and trick the game into allowing us to use an elixir on the boss, which will kill it. That is the short version. I hope y'all enjoy watching it. I hope you enjoy the music. This is pretty good. The next one is even better.
Frog is, I think, everyone's green dream.
That's nope. But I'm not worried, because the backup for this is extremely easy. I do just need to swap them. So you do need to be kind of quick on that input, or else you get attacked and you're not going to survive another attack. That's right, I kind of wanted more of that music anyway.
Mm-hmm. Good music.
This game. This game. The Doors of Doom. AKA the nipple lasers. Apparently. I hit the wrong button. God, if anything can go wrong, it is. I'm so sorry. Change. So part of the challenge, you know, my notes say to hit the X button, so I did. Problem is, y'all might remember I switched my X button early on. I'm sure everyone wanted the lasers again.
Yeah, everybody loves nipple beans.
Alright. I don't think that hit. My up input, please! I just want to finish at this point. So unfortunately, as I mentioned, you have to go fast for that input or else you will get attacked. And if it doesn't register your up input, you are not hitting the boss that you would like. Is this fight impossible without the glitch? With what we have to our names, probably. It would be, at the very best, extremely difficult. But I'm pretty sure, looking at his attacks, it will kill us every time. Right, just get this. I think I'll pause this one a bit. Okay. There we go. We have healed the boss to death. One final. We have the Lavos core, which if you have not fought this casually, please do. I'm not going to say why. I'm not going to explain exactly what's happened.
I will not explain either. You will just have to find out for yourself.
It was amazing. And on to, I might call this the best song of the game. It's hard for me to say that about one song. This one's just too good. Here we go.
Now just remember, with the time warp, it's a jump to the left.
And that is time. Finally. Yeah, we're just gonna sit around on this screen for a moment while the game figures out what just happened. And there's the heal. And the boss is gone. I'm not gonna hang around any further. I apologize for holding things up. I do hope people enjoyed. This is honestly a fun run. I strongly recommend maybe watching some GDQ runs or any other marathons of this. You'll probably see a better run than that. But thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Thank you, SpeedGaming. Let's get the next person up here. I'm out of here.
Have a good one, everybody.